I got into technology a little by mistake, to be honest.
So when I was younger, I studied biology, but actually it was too hard for me. So I moved into international business, and I've traveled quite around the world.
I started work at a company many years ago that monitored venture-backed businesses, and that was the first I'd ever heard about venture capital, and I learned an awful lot.
I grew up with conversations about tech in my household. My dad had a career in computing and mobile technology, so it was probably inevitable that my career would have some form of a tech slant.
So my father worked in Burnsley on the World Wide Web, so he was one of 6 people, and I think I took it for granted then that in my childhood I was just surrounded by the coolest tech and the biggest minds.
But 5 years ago I had the opportunity to mix everything together, working in Cleantech, for Cambridge Cleantech, having a right balance for my family, and that was just like an epiphany.
I got into tech really, it's such a big community in Cambridge, and kind of coming from a marketing and PR background, it's one of the most exciting areas to be in.
And then when I started my training as a junior lawyer, one of the first networking events I went to was hosted by Cambridge Wireless, and it was just amazing to see the kind of passion that people in the industry had and the fast pace of tech, and I was kind of hooked from there, to be honest.
Rather than being in a tech role specifically, I'm more interested in encouraging the next generation of women into tech, and that's really the reason for Cambridge Science Centre's being. You know, we're here to widen participation, increase diversity in STEM subjects, and we know that women are massively underrepresented.
It's something like FMCG, where you're thinking about how do you take this brand, how do you think about product market fit, how do you take it to market and actually think about supply chain. I think that's what led me into tech, and I was really lucky to join a tech business in Cambridge, which was one of the first AI businesses. So these sorts of areas, I think, just fed my intellectual curiosity and made me realise that actually this is really cool, it's really exciting. We are right in the centre of the Gen AI revolution.
Definitely AI, I think that's what everyone's most excited about at the moment. Just all the possibilities, lots of positivities.
Particularly around drug discovery, it's an expensive process, and anything that can be done to streamline the process to market and really make that as kind of cost effective, if you like.
There's, even within the last 6 months to a year, platforms like ChatGPT are now becoming commonplace. They're used frequently in the workplace, and this time a year ago no one had even heard of them.
I think there is an absolute opportunity for AI to hopefully eradicate the use of animal testing in drug discovery in the future, and that's something that I'm excited to see.
For me, it's all about how do we think about that seamless interaction between human to machine. You know, with large language models, you know, they're trained on these huge corpuses of data, and there's this question about how can they become conscious. And this is a long way away from where we are today. So where we are today, you may talk to Alexa or your electric car, but it really doesn't really understand you or give you that valuable insight. It may be able to tell you what your shopping list is, or tell you to get some milk, etc. But I'm thinking about that next stage. So we're really thinking about seamless, frictionless, and then also what does it really mean to be understanding? And one of our mission is understanding every voice.
So for me, I'm hugely excited about quantum computing. As you know, Cambridge is well known for deep tech, and there's some really interesting companies in the city, companies like Wigdahl that are doing some really amazing, interesting stuff.
What I'm most interested about is data and how that's going to be used in the future. What's going to be very exciting is what will happen when quantum comes into play with that data. What sort of problems are we going to be able to solve?
But we have to be careful because tech also needs to work with sustainability. So anything that is low carbon renewable is, you know, a good thing in terms of tech, and I wish that all the companies, all the innovators, when they create something new nowadays, also think about the impact on the planet. Don't be scared. Try to find people to help you to navigate the sector, and just be yourself.
I think not to be scared and to take more risks, and no question is a dumb question.
Try to ignore the imposter syndrome that is I found inevitable and just embrace the opportunities. I quite quickly learned that tech is developing at such a pace that we're all learning all the time, so just get involved.
For me, it's about realising that everyone can do anything.
Self-belief is so important. There's often times that those kinds of career pathways are seen as being more male-oriented, and as a woman growing up, it can be discouraging and off-putting to pursue those subjects. So I think it's key to remember that actually there can be for anybody with an interest and a passion, and just believe in yourself, go for it, and see where that takes you.
Because jobs lead on to so many other opportunities, and just absolutely go for it, and then think about always be thinking about what you'd like to do next.
And if you're intellectually curious and you think about what if, why, and really embrace change.
And in the early parts of my career, I was very nervous about learning things. What is venture capital? What does that mean? What is a Series A? What is a Series B? If I was to have a conversation with myself again, I would say, ask those questions, learn more, get involved, and talk to people, because people enjoy what they do and they want to provide that information to you.
The best people to be understand tech and embrace with it and go on that journey and actually realise that this actually enables creativity. So I think the advice to my younger self would be, just continue to learn. Each day is new learning, and tomorrow's never going to be the same as today, and the one thing with constant is change. So I think it's terrifying being CEO, and I was at CEO Summit last year, and there were 6 of us out of 100. So there's clearly a huge problem, and I think where the problem is actually people seeing the big, making sure the role models are there for women in tech.
I think just demystifying tech and the opportunities available to work in tech is really critical.
So it's very important that you get in and that you have these really meaningful conversations with children at that age when they're starting to think about their careers, where they want to go.
I think what's really good within tech is that there's a real community of women encouraging and looking out for other women.
Inviting them to events, be friendly, encourage them to just try things, and also say if it's wrong, you can find another path.
When women are older and they want to have families and things like that, I think a lot more flexibility, a lot more homeworking.
I think it's really easy to think that you need to be able to code or be an engineer in order to work in tech, and actually I think the opportunities in the industry are vast.
Women looking out for women, and men being a lot more mindful of including women, and things are really, really changing, but there's always room for more.
Really honoured to be part of tech, and I feel really aware at how few women are involved in tech. It's clearly about STEM subjects, but it's really about awareness and understanding, going to schools, doing outreach, and making sure that people don't see this as a weird, geeky thing that only boys do. That is something that's really cool, and I think you can see now the role models.
Showcase these opportunities, illuminate these amazing pathways to all of these wonderful organisations that are operating in this country, and help those children, particularly young girls, to see those pathways as being